Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with powers. I'm Jake, and today's video is for all of my Primal The Awakening fans out there. I know there has been a lot of massive buzz around Primal The Awakening right now because they just had a super early Black Friday sale where they introduced a new expansion to the game featuring 2 new hunters. They introduced some new organization boxes. They've introduced some new game boards like biome maps that have all of these different things. And so it's a very, very exciting time for Primal The Awakening. And so I wanted to piggyback off that and hopefully share some exciting news with all of you guys in regards to Primal. Now, if you are not familiar with the board game Primal The Awakening, this is a cooperative, a boss battler game for 2 to 4 players. It's a campaign style game, or it can be played one shot in expedition mode, where you're going to be taking on the role of a hunter that's going to have a specific weapon, very much like Monster Hunter. So, you might have a bow gun, a sword, or something like that, and you're going to have a deck of cards, and you are going to be battling some sort of elemental monster. And in the campaign mode, you can defeat these monsters and forge elemental weapons to help you in battle. But what makes Primal The Awakening so unique is it's this battle action system where the monster is going to be reacting with these behavior cards based upon what you are doing around the board. So, if you're in front of the monster, it might activate. If you start your turn in the back of it, if you're playing attack cards, the monster is always going to be reacting based upon what you do. So it's this really cool and unique system. So let's get to today's video. Look, guys, I love Primal The Awakening. This is one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. But it is not really, I feel, in my personal opinion, it's very hard to play Primal The Awakening solo. Primal really shines in a group setting, and it really shines in that cooperative setting. And if you wanted to play Primal The Awakening solo, then you guys have to manage 2 different hunters, okay? You gotta play with 2 hunters. And that's very hard. I've done a lot of content on my channel where I've played with 2 hunters, and it's just a lot of maintenance going on, right? A lot of different things to track, and it's very confusing. And so I sat back and I said, man, I wonder if there is a way where we can just adjust some of the rules a little bit to be able to play Primal The Awakening solo with 1 hunter. And so I figured I would use the help of Chat GPT and AI by uploading the rulebook, all of my experiences, and some things that I've really enjoyed and noticed, and the feeling of what I get when playing Primal, adding in the errata. And Chat GPT has created a mode, a solo mode for the game called the Lone Hunter mode, all right? And it has made some changes to the rules that Chat GPT feels like still keeps the core tension and mechanics of the game, but allows you to play with only 1 hunter. So that's what we are going to be trying out today, guys. I've spent about a week refining some of these rules with Chat GPT to hopefully have a mode where we are able to play Primal The Awakening solo with 1 hunter, so we are not having to do a lot of management and maintenance when it comes to this game. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump down to the table. This mode, I should say, is called, again, the Lone Hunter mode. So let's go ahead and jump down to the table and check out this Chat GPT Lone Hunter mode for Primal The Awakening. Alright guys, so we're down here at the table where we have everything set up for our Lone Hunter solo mode of Primal The Awakening. Now, I do want to note, guys, remember that this is not a officially recognized mode whatsoever. This is a mode or way to play the game that is going to alter and change some of the rules in the rulebook. This is not officially recognized by Reggie Games whatsoever. This is a mode that was created by Chat GPT, by AI, with the help of myself and my experiences of the feeling that I get when I am playing Primal The Awakening. I did use the rulebook and the errata from Reggie Games' website to upload that into Chat GPT, so it had a reference of all of the rules and kind of the thoughts and feelings of how you are supposed to be playing Primal The Awakening. The second thing I want to cover today before we jump in, guys, is you will see some Etsy upgrades to the game here today. We are mostly in the dials, all right? So the monster health dial here, the struggle dial, and the player health dial right down here. Those are going to be Etsy upgrades. If you are interested in these upgrades, I will link them in the description below, as well as link a PDF version of this Lone Hunter mode as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump right in. Today, we are going to be testing this mode out with the prologue scenario as if you were starting a campaign, all right? So you are going to be taking on the Varaxin here. The Varaxin is going to be at level 0, and so we have the Varaxin, we have all of his components that we need, and then we are going to be taking the role of Darian the Greatsword, and so we have all of his components: a base Greatsword, base helm, base armor, and 1 Alamore potion. All right, guys, the way this is going to work is I'm going to talk about the rules as I am playing the game. As I go through the different phases, I will talk about the different rule changes, and then once I've kind of played one full round talking about the rule changes, then I'm just going to dive in and continue with the rest of this playthrough. So let's talk about the setup. There are going to be no changes to the setup whatsoever. So you would set up a game whether you are playing the campaign mode or the expedition mode. You are going to set that up just like you would in any normal game of Primal The Awakening, whether you are using 2, 3, or 4 players. So you can see we have all of our setup done here with this particular scenario. Okay. Let's jump right in. So starting off with the very first phase in a round, we have the consume phase. And when I talk about these rules, guys, I'm going to show you the rules, and then also what Chat GPT did as well is they said why these rules were needed. Why are they making these changes to give some sort of explanation, okay? So when we were taking a look at the consume phase, guys, we are not making any rule changes in this phase whatsoever. The typical rule of you may consume 1 potion in this phase is going to stay, and Chat GPT says here this phase already scales perfectly to solo play, with the hand size potions and drawing do not depend on the number of hunters here. So of course we just started the game. I'm not going to spend any of my potions, my Alamore potion yet, because I don't need to heal. I am already at full health. Okay, we're going to go to the second phase in a round, the monster upkeep phase. All right, there are going to be 2 rule changes here in the monster upkeep phase. The very first one is we will be using 2-player scaling for everything that we do when it comes to the monster upkeep phase. And anytime a behavior card is going to ask us per player, we are using 2-player scaling. So what does this mean? The monster will always gain 2 struggle per round because he gains 1 struggle per player. Unleash is going to trigger at 6 total struggle, which is 3 per player. So since we are using 2-player scaling, it's going to unleash at 6 struggle, and the stance toughness is always going to use the 2-player value as well. So in our little setup over here, remember he's going to be gaining 2 struggle per round. Normally he would do the behavior refresh phase first, but you skip that in the first round. If you guys are not familiar with that behavior refresh, we will take the lowest card right here of his behavior cards. That gets discarded if 2 are tied. I do believe both of them get discarded. I'll have to reference the rulebook. It's been a while since I have played Primal, but the behavior refresh would get skipped. Then we would go to the struggle step. So he will gain 2 struggle, right? Because we are using 2-player scaling. When it comes to his stance toughness, he would have 2 per player. So 4 toughness on stance 1 is going to cause a wound. When it comes to our objective here, right, when there are 2 counters per player on this card, that will pop. So when there are 4 counters on this card, that is going to activate. So that is going to be the very first rule change. Now ChatGPT says, why is this needed? It says the game's entire engine, from struggle pacing, stance thresholds, monster reactions, is mathematically built around having 2 hunters minimum. Okay, it says using a true solo scaling of one player, the monster would rarely unleash, which would make the monster too easy. The toughness would be too low, and you would wound the monster too fast. The struggle control would be trivial, so there wouldn't be as much back and forth tension. And the stances, because you are dealing so much damage and wounding the monster, they would flip too quickly, and you would never get that feeling of the monster escalating throughout the course of the game. So it says 2-player scaling preserves the intended difficulty and rhythm. All right. So that's the first rule change that, or rule alteration that we are making. The second one is monster stance damage is always going to be reduced by 1. So lower the monster stance damage by a value of 1. A monster stance damage value can never be a 0. So minimum of 1. Why are we doing this? A single hunter, right, only has 1 health pool, and it cannot rely on another hunter to tank aggro. So even a -1 damage barely keeps you alive, but still gives you the tension you experience in a 2-hunter game. Without this rule, you would get KO'd almost every single round in the later stances when the monster is rampaging, or when he has a lot of damage going on. So those are the 2 alterations that we are making in this monster upkeep phase. Everything is going to be done as a 2-player scaling, and the monster stance damage will be reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. Okay, so like I said, round 1, we are skipping the behavior refresh, so we don't do that. We have given him his 2 struggle, and that is the conclusion of the monster upkeep. All right, guys, we're now going to be moving on to the third phase, which is a player turn. So a player turn is broken up into a movement phase, an action phase, an attrition phase, and an end of turn phase. So at the start of your turn, we are going to have 5 rule changes moving into this phase. So the very first rule change, at the start of your action phase, you will gain a +1 stamina token, right? So at the start of each round, gain a +1 stamina token. Why does it say this? So Chat GPT says with 2 hunters, they discard 2 to 3 stamina worth of cards each round. They often assist each other to enable cheaper sequences, and one can run maneuvers while the other commits attacks. In a solo play, you lose all of that, right? So giving a +1 stamina token keeps your movement affordable, lets you play longer sequences, offsets the increased behavior reactions, which is essential for the action economy parity, all right? So I will go ahead and generate my 1 stamina. The second part of your action step. So at the start of your action phase, before moving, remove 1 struggle for free. So you get 1 free struggle remover each round. Why are we doing this? Struggle is the hardest thing to manage solo because you no longer have multiple hunters playing maneuvers. Struggle gains faster, right? Because we're going 2 per round with that 2-player scaling to maintain the feel of the game. And some monsters boost heavily with this struggle. If we did not have this rule, the monster would be unleashing every 2 to 3 turns no matter what we did, because it would continue to ramp and ramp and ramp. And if you are not playing blue cards, that is going to be tough. So it says the free removal here restores strategic counterplay. So we will go ahead and do that now at this time, reducing his struggle by 1, bringing him down to 1. Okay, that is the 2 things that would happen at the start of your action phase. Now, according to the rulebook, just so we're aware, if a monster behavior would activate at the start of a turn, you would activate that monster behavior first or resolve that monster behavior. So, for example, you guys will see the next card here in the Varaxan behavior deck is this symbol is once you start at the start of your turn, if you are in the front sector, this behavior would pop. So in a scenario like this one, if this was out, I start the action phase, this behavior is going to activate and resolve first, and then you would get your stamina token and then reduce the struggle by 1, because some of these behaviors might have a boost on them and rely on this struggle, right? So that's what kind of sums up and talks about what we're doing. Okay. Next, we are moving into the movement phase. So the very first thing in a player's turn or action phase really is that movement phase. So in this phase, the rule change that we are making or adjustment is we can move up to 2 sectors for the cost of 1 stamina, right? So move 2 spaces for 1 stamina. Why is this? With multiple hunters, positional play is shared, right? 1 hunter can hit the rear, 1 can pull aggro, 1 can rotate the monster, 1 can manipulate the different exposed sides. In solo, you're the only hunter. So if you want to reach an exposed side, you would have to move a lot, which would burn your hand much quicker. Allowing a double move preserves the tactical mobility, makes rear attacks possible, prevents being locked in the front side, or really locked in an area where you cannot deal damage to the monster every turn. It says this rule preserves the movement-based puzzle of the game. All right. So I will go ahead and do that. I will spend my 1 stamina token right here, and we will move from this sector all the way to this second sector. So now we have him in the rear. Okay, so that was the movement phase, the first step in a player's turn. Now, the second step in a player's turn is the action phase. Where we are going to be playing cards or activate any abilities. So let me give my deck a nice little shuffle here, and I will draw 5 cards, and then we will talk about some of the next rule changes. So we got 3 more rule changes in this particular phase here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So let's talk about these rule changes real quick before I dive into them. All right. The first one, you may play up to 6 cards in your sequence. So normally your sequence limit is going to be 5. We are increasing this by 1 to 6. Now, why are we doing this? A normal group of 2 hunters plays on average 6 to 8 cards per round combined. A lone hunter normally plays around 3. Giving us a 6th slot doesn't break the balance of the game. It restores combo depth, allows us to push damage and control the struggle, and makes mastery focusing possible. We still are going to have to pay full stamina for all the cards that we play, so it never really becomes free us having this 6th slot. All right. And then the next one is the Lone Hunter Assist Replacement. All right. Draw 1 card after playing your first card each turn. So when you play your first card in the sequence, draw 1 card immediately. Why is this needed? This replaces the multiplayer assist mechanic. Assist normally gives you an extra resource during your action phase. Without it, Lone Hunter sequencing collapses and you lose tempo in damage output. So drawing immediately after your first card enables more combos, getting you to that 6th card in your sequence, right? Helps with stamina, allows defensive reactions before attrition, and replaces the action economy of a second hunter. All right. The very last one in this phase, I do believe this is the last one. Let me double check. Yeah, this is the very last one in this phase is now any card that says another player will now target you. All right. And so examples of this, right? Another player draws 1 card, you would draw 1 card, another player moves 1 space, you move 1 space, another player gains stamina, you would gain stamina. Why this is needed in solo play will invalidate many card effects and hunter masteries. So this preserves card viability and keeps the decks and the play style of certain heroes functioning properly if you would like to play them. Okay, I know that was a lot of rule changes. Really quick, I'm going to sum it up for you guys with my quick reference guide. So start of the turn, you are going to gain 1 stamina, remove 1 struggle. Your action rules, you can move up to 2 spaces now for 1 stamina, play up to 6 cards in your sequence. After you play your first card in your sequence, draw a card. Any effects that say another player effects target you, that will be you instead. All right. Let's go ahead and play through this this action phase and see what we got. So I got a battle cry, I got a pressing strike, a deflecting blade, endurance, and heavy clash. Ooh. All right, so he will pop on red. So if I play red, he is popping. You know what I might do? I could play one to draw one. Search your deck for a card with slash and add it to your hand, then reshuffle your deck. Remove one struggle token. I think I'm going to play Deflecting Blade. So search my deck for a card with slash and add it to my hand, and then reshuffle my deck. So I need to spend 1 stamina for this. We will spend endurance. So I'll place that over to the side. Let's see, I got a double slash here that does have the slash keyword. Down below, what else has the slash keyword? Jumping Slice. If I paid for that with a blue, ooh, that might be worth it. What else has slash in here? Slash to the flank. I think I might do that Jumping Slice. If the next card you play in your sequence is a red, ooh, I could play Berserker. I can play for free. So then I'd really need to just spend 1. Ooh, let's see. Do I want, what is my 3? That allows me to draw. I might take that one and increase the damage. So I will take Jumping Slice into my hand. Alrighty. Jumping Slice into my hand. Let's go ahead and give my deck a shuffle. Alrighty, so I have taken Jumping Slice into my hand. Now I have played 1 card into my sequence, so I do get the assist bonus of drawing a card, and we do have Quick Attack. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect with what I want. Alright, so I will go ahead and play Battle Cry. All right, the very first card, the next card in my sequence is going to be Battle Cry. So that is a red. I do gain the Berserker and Resilience status. So let's see what Berserker does. So when you play a card with this keyword, and you will remain in that state till the end of your turn. While in the Berserker state, draw 1 card each time you play an attack card in your sequence. Resilience, after you suffer damage, you may reveal a card with the keyword Resilience from your hand to draw 1 card. All right, so damage resolves. My base damage on my weapon is 2, so he will take 2 damage, and we will go ahead and give him 2 damage. Remember, it causes a wound at 4. And do we resolve anything else? No, we do not. But I do get that status, so I will get to draw a card after this. Let's activate this card first. All right, Sudden Blaze. All right, the active player discards the top 3 cards of their deck. That player suffers a damage unless a defensive card is discarded. That's the first card, so we take no damage. That is my second card, and that is my third card. So thankfully, I take no damage from this Firestorm, and I'm going to put these cards. I do have cards over here to the side, guys, that I am using. So Battle Cry, we did have that Berserker status, so I did play a card in there, so I'll get to draw an additional card for that. Okay. The next card I want to play is my Jumping Slice. All right, if you paid with a blue, increase the damage this attack deals by 3. So I will go ahead. Wait. Sorry. Resolutions. So before I can do any of that, I need to resolve this because this is a resolution effect. When another behavior card gets resolved, you have to resolve this. So this is the Flamethrower. So place a fire terrain in the front sector. All right, so this is the front sector. We got a fire terrain here. Whenever fire is in this, I cannot play any cards in my sequence. And then this is 1 struggle. All right, so he will boost this with 1 struggle, bringing him down to 0. Each player in the front sector suffers damage unless they discard a green from their hand. I am not in the front sector, thankfully, so we'll do that. Okay, so now I would continue play with my specific turn. All right. We'll go ahead and play Jumping Slice. All right, so we play Jumping Slice as the third card in my sequence. I will pay for it with a Quick Attack, right? So this is a blue, so I will increase the damage this does by 3. And then when you discard this card from your hand, deal your base weapon damage. So I'm discarding this card from my hand as stamina to pay for this. So I'm going to resolve that first. So deal base weapon damage, which is 2. All right, so that will put him at 4 damage on this stance. So that will wound him, bringing him down to 9, and that will reset his toughness back down to 0. So that was that resolution. So now I am dealing a base damage of 2, plus an additional 3 because I paid for blue, so we are at 5. And then my greatsword said, if I play double red, increase the damage the attack deals by 2 and remove 1 struggle. All right, he has 0 struggle, so we're not going to do that. My mastery also says when I play double red, I can put a counter on this card. So base of 2 plus 3 for the blue, which is 5, plus another 2 from my greatsword, which is 7. All right, so we're dealing 7. 4 would go ahead and cause another wound, so I will go ahead and cause another wound to him, and then we will bring him up to 3 because there is 3 damage left over, and that is the full resolution of my attack. I did hit the tail, so I will put a counter on this card. So if I play double offensive and I am in the rear sector, I can place 1 counter on this card. When there are 2 counters on this card, Varaxin suffers 2 wounds, and then I would remove this card from the game. Okay, I believe that is all the resolutions, because this is if I start my turn in the rear, this is if I become threatened, and when I start my turn in the front sector. All right, let's see what else. I can draw 2, reduce the stamina cost of the next card you play. You know what? I might save this for now because that is a blue, and I could reduce the stamina. So I think I will end my turn right here. Okay. So now, when you end your player turn, the very next phase in the game is this attrition phase right here, okay? This is where we will have one more adjustment to the game. So in the attrition phase, our adjustment is one of 2 different options, okay? Option A, which is the more thematic option, avoid attrition entirely if you played greater than or equal to 1 defensive card, whether that's a parry or a dodge, okay? Option number 2, the more challenging one, is reduce attrition values by 1. So why is this needed? Attrition is the number 1 solo killer because no teammate can assist to mitigate attrition, and when you are threatened, it doubles these attrition checks. Without modifying attrition, you would take damage almost every single turn, and the KO spirals would happen constantly. These options stabilize survivability. So Chat GPT recommends you always start with option A, and then if you felt like that was too easy, then if you want something a little more challenging, we can move to option B. So I'm going to play option A here and see how this works. So I have played 1 defensive card in my sequence, so I will block the attrition damage, but we will still need to draw the card. So this card is a 2, so I would be safe either way, even if I reduced that attrition value by 1. So that is our attrition phase. Now we go to the end of turn phase, where I discard all cards in my sequence, draw cards up to my hand size limit, and the monster will turn to the aggro player. All right, so discard all cards in my sequence here. We'll go ahead and do that, and then I will draw cards back up to my hand size limit, which is 5. I do have 2 or more cards in my hand left over. If that is the case, you get a stamina token. So let me draw 1 and 2, so back up to 5. And then the monster is going to turn to face the aggro player, which is always going to be you because you are aggroed. Okay. The last phase we have is the end of round phase, guys, and there will be no changes, no rule changes in this round, so you would resolve any end of round hunter or monster effects, advance the round marker, and then refresh any abilities or triggers that reset each round. Why no changes to this phase? This phase is purely reset and advance, which works identically for 1 or more hunters. Okay, there are 2 final rule changes, or the last rule changes that we are making is when it comes to KO and depletion. So the first one, KO recovery, is shortened to 1 turn. So when you get KO'd, basically you are rising up on your next turn. Why is this change happening? A normal KO, you would lose 2 turns, and solo mode, if you lost 2 turns, that is very punishing, right? So shortening to 1 turn still makes KO punishing, but it is survivable, and it still preserves this tension of risk reward. All right, the second change when it comes to KO is the depleting equipment. So when your second equipment depletes, you rise again with 1 HP. So if your armor and helm deplete, you rise at 1 health, and then the next KO will defeat you. Normally, the second equipment depletion equals a guaranteed fail because you are knocked out. So this rule keeps the scenario playable, adds a last stand phase, still keeps the danger high, and it's thematically epic too. All right, guys, look. Everything else stays unchanged. So potions, perils, objectives, reaction icons, and no changes to those. These systems are going to scale naturally. And then here at the end of our rules, they have given us a difficulty slider. So we have an easy mode, a normal mode, which we are playing today. We have a hard mode and a brutal mode of how you can alter these different changes for you to make the game more challenging, because it says, look, solo needs a spectrum of difficulty options, which because monster decks vary wildly in complexity and aggression. This slider lets players tune challenge without altering the core design. But guys, look, that is the full lone, the Chat GPT created lone hunter mode with all the rules. Again, I will link this PDF down in the description below if you guys want to check this out. I will also put the quick reference guide, the quick play reference guide down in there as well. All right, guys, look, now we're going to go ahead and finish the rest of the playthrough as normal. So any end of round effects, we don't do anything here. At the end of the round, if the aggro player is threatened, place a fire. I am not threatened. Okay. I believe that's all we got, and then we would go ahead and advance the marker moving into the second round. So taking it back up to the consume phase, I do not want to consume any potions. Monster upkeep, we're going to do our behavior refresh, discarding this card and putting a new behavior out. All right, the monster is going to gain struggle, so he will gain 2 struggle. And then we will move into the action phase. So I would gain 1 stamina, bringing me up to 2 stamina. We can go ahead and reduce the struggle by 1. Alrighty. Well, this would pop first. I'm sorry. I apologize. So let me take my stamina back, give him 2 struggle. So I am in the front sector. All right, so this front sector is going to pop. So this says the Varaxin gains struggle per player -1 and gets +1 until the end of the round. All right, so +1 damage for him, and he would gain 1 struggle, so bringing him up to 3. All right, and you can see why it's viable to do that reduction struggle at the start of your turn, because if this had a boost for 2, that would pop and kind of maintain the same feel of the game. All right. So now I would gain my stamina. I would reduce struggle by 1, so he's at 2 struggle, and then we would go into my movement phase. Now, normally if I'm in this spot right here, I would gain 1 health for that plant. This is where it gets tough. I am going to have to stay where I am at because this would flip over to yellow. If I move here, then I cannot play any cards in my sequence. So I will have to stay where I am at and gained the threatened status. Okay? So let's go ahead and play some cards. So I have a lot of stuff that I can get through. If I play a blue, he is popping. I almost... If you're in a flank sector, no, I'm not in a flank sector. I almost might just want to play the blue to see what the blue does. And hopefully it doesn't do anything crazy. So let me go ahead and play Pressing Strike. So I will play Pressing Strike. I will spend my 2 stamina. In order to do that, I will draw 2 cards. So we'll draw a Massive Strike. Ooh, that's a finisher. And Empty Fade. Okay. And then I will reduce his struggle by 1. And then he is going to pop this card. All right. Wrath of the Dragon. Varaxin turns to the active player, then places a fire terrain in the front sector. Ay. All right. Well, that is rough. Okay. And then he will spend 1 struggle. The active player suffers damage unless they have a defensive card, a green defensive card in their sequence, which I do not. Okay. So I would take 2 damage. So I'm going down to 1 and 2. I'm going down to 7. All right, blue is not a good one. We do not want to play a blue. All right, well, here's what's unfortunate. I cannot play any more cards in my sequence. So basically, what I'm going to have to do is end my turn. So I will end my turn. We will move to the attrition phase. So I am drawing 2 attrition cards, a 0 and a 2. I have no defensive cards in my sequence, so I'm going to take 2 more damage. So 1 and 2. Alrighty. Bringing me down to 5. And then we are going to the end of turn step. So discard this. And then I would have to reduce my hand down to 5. So I want to keep this damage. I want to keep the blue. That's remove 1 struggle token, reduce the stamina card. Well, he's got green out there. I don't really know if I want green. Let me keep 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you may play a card. Is it without paying stamina cost? We'll play that and get rid of that. Okay. So I do have, however, I did have 3 or more cards in my hand. So I would still gain 1 stamina for this. Okay. Draw cards into my hand side limit. I've done that. The monster turns to the active player. And then now we would go to any end of round steps. So he does have fire breathing. At the end of the round, if the aggro player is threatened, place a fire terrain in the front sector. So I am in the front sector. So he would place a fire terrain. I will get burning. Alrighty. So burning is going on my deck. I do believe. Let me see what burning is very quickly. Fire triggers come into play. If you are restricted to place a fire terrain, but there's already fire, flip that fire to its red side instead. All players in that sector suffer burning. All right, well, what is burning off the top of my head again? When you suffer burning, take the corresponding burning token and place it on your hunter board. All right, so we place it on my hunter board. What does it say? The next time you empty your deck, discard the burning token and suffer damage equal to my weapon level. Okay, perfect. So this fire will actually go away. Thank you. So I can get in his rear. This behavior card is going to pop. So each player in the front sector must either immediately move or suffer damage. Then Varaxin turns to the player with the fewest defensive cards in their hand. That's rough. That is rough. So what I might do is I might move here. But I will have to pay stamina for that. So I will just pay this stamina and keep my hand intact. So I would move there. He would turn to the player. Well, actually not that bad because I can get behind him still. All right. This threaten goes away because I did move. And that is that resolution. All right. Last card has come out in the deck. I do believe he is going to not unleash, but what is it? It's not enrage. I forgot what they called it. Let me double check. Escalation. So when the behavior deck is empty, enters play, the monster gains 1 struggle. Escalation. All right, so he gains 1 struggle, going up to 2. All right, then we will take this behavior deck. We will give it a nice little shuffle. And we are back at it again. Okay, I do believe that is all the maintenance that we need to take care of. I activated the end of round effect. We did place that fire terrain in that sector, which gave me burning. Nothing else is going to happen. So we would go back up top to this consume phase. Now, I do not want to spend a potion because I want to make sure that is a 1. A 2 is on top of the deck right now. So we want to have 1 on top of the deck to get better. And I'll see if I can move that over to the side so you guys can see a little bit of it. But anyway, I want to go ahead and make sure that that is a 1 so I can get the most value out of my card there. Okay, so that goes away. He no longer is juiced up. And now that should be everything. Okay, there's still a lot of maintenance, but at least it's not as bad as having to maintenance 2 different characters. So, consume phase, I'm passing on that. Monster upkeep, he's going to discard the lowest card. And, wow, 2 reds. That is rough. And we are going to go to the player turn. Well, he got 2 struggle, sorry. 2 struggle. And then now we go to the start of my turn. So I gain 1 stamina. I reduce his struggle by 1, giving him to 3. And then now we go to my movement phase. I will move, so I'll spend my stamina to move behind him in the jungle brush over here. And now we can play some cards. Do I just say YOLO and hit the reds because I could play Massive Strike. If you're in a flank sector, you may play a red card as the next card in your sequence. How can I finesse without paying its stamina cost? That is huge. You may play a slash card as the next card in sequence without paying the stamina cost. I want to play a defensive card first. So I think I will play Heavy Clash. All right, let's play Heavy Clash. And we need to pay stamina for that. And let's pay Empty Fade, okay? I did play one card in my sequence, so I will be able to draw a card that says reduce if I'm mastery, reduce the stamina cost of the next card I play by 1. And now do I just start? Let me remove this struggle token here. Alrighty, remove the struggle token. And let's see what we can do. Let's play Slash to the Flank. Alrighty, Slash to the Flank. And we need to pay 1 stamina for that. Let's go ahead and pay this. Counter Strike. Well, actually, it'd be probably better to play a Dragon Dash. Even though that's 2. Wow, that's tough. Okay. I will get to reduce 1 struggle from him. If I'm in the flank sector, which I am, I may play a red as the next card in my sequence without paying its stamina cost. I will play... I can only play this card after a red. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, well, I think that's what I'm going to do on my turn here. So I played 2 cards. We're going to go ahead and move into the attrition phase. So I will draw a card, and that is a 3. That is wild. That is wild, okay? And the turn phase, discard the cards in my sequence here. I will draw back up to my hand size limit. Because I have 2 or more cards in my hand, I get a stamina token. So that's 3, that's 4, and that is 5. So that's what we're looking at. The monster is going to turn to the aggro player, and then we're going to do any end of round steps, which would be if the aggro player is threatened, which I am not. There are no other end of round steps. The behavior cards are there, and we will proceed into the start of the next phase. So round number 4, all right? Consume phase. I still do not want to consume anything because I need this to be lower than a 3, guys. This is crazy. Okay. Consume phase out the way. Monster phase, behavior refresh. So he will discard a red. All right, that's not that bad. I can handle a red, but that is going to pop. He will gain 2 struggle. So his struggle will be at 3. And then we will go to my turn. So this behavior card is going to pop first. So he gains 1 struggle per player -1 and gets +1 until the end of the round. All right, so he gets another +1 stamina token. He gains struggle per player -1, so he'll get 1 struggle. So he's at 4 struggle. And now we go to my turn, the movement phase. Okay. I would also get a stamina, but I'll just spend that stamina right away to do this. I will reduce the struggle by 1, and I think I forget again, guys. I'm going to be forgetting some steps as I go through this because this is my first time trying this, so I do apologize. So I did move from that. I did use the struggle, so now we can play a card, and I do believe if I'm in this space, my damage does 1 extra. Let me double check on our particular sheet here. When you play an attack card in your sequence, if there is a Sericay terrain in your sector, increase the damage that attack deals by your weapon level, which my weapon level is 1. So we will increase it by 1, which is not bad. Okay. I think I just try and deal as much possible damage as I can to him in this round. To just get moving, right? So let's see. Let's play Counter Strike first. So I will play Counter Strike. That's my defense for attrition. I will remove that. This says increase the damage the attack deals by 3 if I play a red. Is that a red after? Yep. Truly, if the next card of your sequence is a red. Okay. So we've resolved that. I will play. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I have enough to do this. So this would be... I do not. At the end of your action phase, choose another player to draw 1 for each rage card in your sequence, or the aggro card. When another player removes struggle, you may discard this card from your hand to double the amount of struggle removes. Then the active player draws 1 card. So I could have used this, but I think I just draw that actually. So that would not work out. Let's see. I don't think there is a possible way that I can do both. Really, I'd like to do that back-to-back combo, but we might not be able to do that. So let's do Precision Strike. Let's do Precision Strike. I need to spend 3. Oof, man. So let's deal... I got to get rid of 4. So I'd have to get rid of both of these, which I don't really want to, but I got to do it. Okay, so this attack is going to inflict vulnerable. I don't have my vulnerable token, but we'll just use that as a vulnerable token for now. And this is going to deal 3 more damage. So base of 2, we're dealing 5. I will use the vulnerable token to double that damage for 10. So 10 damage is coming out to this guy. So 1 more, all right, is going to cause a wound, bringing him bringing out a new stance. So this stance is going to go away because that would come out at 7. So he is coming out with stance number 2. So this one says when revealed, he gains 1 struggle per player. So he's going to be at 5 struggle. Alrighty, we have 3 toughness now. 3 toughness now. So he is... I did enough for 1, and then we did 9. So 6 would cause another wound, and then he would have 3 damage on him left over. Okay. We need to activate the red. So the red is popping here. So Blazing Assault. The active player discards the top 3 cards of their deck. The player suffers damage unless a defensive card is discarded. So we have 1. There's my defensive card. 2 and 3. All right, so that goes away. And then he is spending 2 struggle to repeat the ability on this card, which that's actually kind of good for me in a way. So 1, 2. All right, there's a defensive card, so I take no damage. I have decked out. So when I deck out, 2 things are going to happen. Number 1, I'm taking fatigue damage. Alrighty, I am taking fatigue damage. And number 2, I will have to take this burning damage. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. So I did get my defensive card, remember. So I won't take damage. I will have to get rid of burning to take 1 initial damage, and then I take 1 fatigue damage, bringing me down to 3. Alrighty. So that was the activation of the red card. I don't think anything else. I've applied my damage, applied vulnerable. We've done everything that we need to do, and we have 1 card left over in our hand. Okay, so I will... Oh, I got to add 1 more damage because of the plant, the sector that I am in. Okay. End of my turn. We'll go to the attrition phase. So we still need to just do 1 card, but I do block that attrition damage, thankfully. We'll go to the end of turn phase. So discard the cards in my sequence. Draw back up to my hand size limit. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Man, I cannot get double red to save my life. The monster will turn to the aggro player here. All right, this fire token should have been gone away again. I do apologize. And then we will have all the end of round steps. So we will just go from top to bottom for the end of round. So this will pop. Each player in the front sector must either immediately move or suffer damage. The Viraxan turns to the player with the fewest defensive cards in his hand. So I must either move or suffer damage. I think what I'll do is move here, and he will turn to the player with the most defensive cards, which is going to be me. So that is that. If the aggro player is threatened, place a fire terrain in the front sector. I also forgot to put this other card out, and this other peril card, which is when a behavior card with Firestorm is revealed, immediately place a fire terrain in the front sector. And none of those cards did have Firestorm, so I have to be careful of that. Now, this won't replace the other card. This other one will still be out here, so I do have to remember about both of these. Okay, end of round, this +1 token will get discarded. We are moving through. I don't think there are any other end of round effects. All the fire is gone as well. Okay. Moving into the next round, round number 5, guys. Up at the top, I am going to use my consume phase to do this potion, giving me 4 health, bringing me back up to 7. Alrighty, we go to the monster refresh step. So he will discard this. He will bring this out. He has escalated, so he will grab one more struggle right there. All right, let me get this. Let me get this back. Alrighty. We will shuffle that back up. So he escalates, and then he's going to the struggle step, so he will gain 2 struggle. All right, so he is now going to unleash, and let me just make sure what this unleash step is. So I got this right away. Let me see. So I'm doing it correctly, just to make sure, because I always forget this one, and unleash. Okay, all players immediately suffer damage. Remove struggle tokens until the monster only has 1. All right, so he will drop back down to 1, and I will suffer 1 damage for doing that. Okay, that is his struggle. So now we go to the start of my phase. I get my 1 stamina token. I reduce his struggle by 1, bring him down to 0. Because I'm starting my turn in a sector with a plant here, I get to heal for 1, bringing me back up to 7. And then we will go into my movement phase, where I will... I don't want to play a blue. I will... move. I'm going to be smart and move behind him, and we're going to play some cards. Okay, so I think the very cursed card, search your deck with a slash at the end of your action phase. Yeah, so I will play Deflecting Blade. Alrighty. So search my deck for a card with slash and add it to my hand and reshuffle my deck. What do I want to play? I'll use Quick Attack for this one. When you discard this card from your hand, deal your base weapon damage. All right. So I am dealing 2 damage to him, which will hit that 6-stage threshold, causing a wound to him and dropping him back down to 0. All right. And then I am searching my deck for a card with slash. So let's see. Nope, I don't want blue. If you paid for a blue, deal extra damage. That might be useful. Slash, I don't want blue. That's the one I'm taking. All right, so I'm taking Jumping Slice. Let's give my deck another shuffle here. And hopefully I can get moving along with this particular boss. Okay, the very next thing we are going to do is we are going to play this Jumping Slice. All right, so Jumping Slice, I will play this one right here. I will pay for it with a blue. Man, this is tough. This is tough. I gotta play. You got to play this straight from the jump is what I'm gonna have to play. So maybe I don't play Jumping Slice, and at the end of your action phase, choose another player to draw 1. Well, I should draw a card anyway. So I should draw a card. Search your deck for a red and add it to your hand. Then reshuffle your deck. So if I played this and played this, I would need 4. So that's 3. Ooh, do I have... That is a... so basically this would draw 1. So maybe I could... that's 2 stamina though. Search your deck for a red and add it to your hand, then reshuffle your deck. That might be... Well, because I don't want to get rid of any of these. Okay. Well, let's just play Jumping Slice. I think that's what we're going to do. Jumping Slice. Let me get rid of Evasive Step here. Well, actually, let me get rid of the blue. That's what I was going to do. So we get rid of the blue. We paid for this with a blue. So 3 extra damage. So 5 damage is coming out to him, bringing him up to 5. Alrighty. Nothing is popping because I'm not playing any cards. I don't want to play a blue. I need 4 for that, so I don't want to do that. Okay, so I will end my turn right here. Okay, so we go to the attrition phase. I have played a defensive card, so I will get to ignore attrition, but I'm only drawing 1 attrition. And then we will discard the cards in my sequence, draw back up to my hand size. I do have more than 2 cards in my hand, so I get 1 stamina. We will get 2 cards there. And then the monster is going to turn to face the aggro player. All end of round steps activate. None of these are going to reset. I am not threatened, so no fire is going to pop out. And that is everything. So we'll go back up to round number 6. Consume phase. I don't have any potions. We're skipping that. Behavior refresh. We discard this, and this pops out. Okay. Struggle. So he will gain 2 struggle, and that is going to be end of him. So going to my phase, I reduce struggle by 1. I gain 1 stamina. And then I get to go to my movement phase. So I will spend 1 stamina for movement to jump behind him, and then we're going to play some cards. Okay, I think the very first thing I'm going to play is this evasive step. So search my deck for a red and add it to my hand, then reshuffle, and I think what I'm going to do is discard this blue. All right, discard that blue and search my deck for a red. Oop, only got 1 more red. Alrighty. Reshuffle my deck. I have no more damage cards in there, so I can't play blues either. So I gotta, hopefully I can deal enough damage to him to be able to take care of this. Okay. So I also get to draw a card for the struggle. We will play Battle Cry. All right, Battle Cry, which gives me Berserker. For every red, I get to draw a card. So we're going to do damage. So 2 damage coming to him. So 1 is going to hit that 6 threshold, and then we will have 1 left over. All right, 1 left over for that. Nothing is popping on red. Okay, and then what we are going to do is play Massive Strike. All right. Oh, I need to draw my card from Battle Cry. Then I would play Massive Strike. So you can only do this after a red. Increase the damage this attack deals by 5, and I need to pay 4. So we'll go 1, 2, and why not 3, 4? So just both of these for 4. Okay. So this is going to get a little crazy here. So I played a red, so I get to draw a card. All right, so we played a red, get to draw a card. I get Retreat. Okay, so base of 2. I did play double red, so I get to reduce his struggle by 1, increase the attack by 2, so 4, plus an additional 5, which is 9. And I am in his rear sector, so I do hit him with another thing. So I'm dealing 9 damage coming out to him. So he's got 1, so 5 is going to cause a wound, bringing out his 3rd and final stance card right here, allowing me to hit him anywhere that I would like. So when revealed, place a fire terrain in each threatened sector. Nobody is threatened at this particular time, and his 3rd objective is coming out. When a behavior card with Firestorm is revealed, immediately place a fire terrain in the front sector. Players in that sector become threatened. Okay, so this is coming out. That is, I actually do think these, if I remember correctly, these do get replaced. So just bear with me. These do get replaced and come out every time. So that is the new objective card. We had 4 left over. I believe we had 4 left over. So let's go ahead and put him up to 4. 8 is going to cause a wound right now. So that's a finisher. So that has to be the end of my sequence. I also did do this, and we are going to place a counter on that card. I have unlocked my mastery. Reduce the stamina of all reds you play by 1. Okay. End of my turn here. We're going to the attrition phase. We have a 1. I did play a defensive card. We will go ahead and discard all of my cards in my sequence. And then monster returns to the aggro player. And now we're going to do any end of round effects. So behavior card with Firestorm, nope. And no other end of round effects. So take it back up to the top and then do round in 7. Consume phase. Nothing is going to happen. Behavior refresh. This goes away and a green is going to come out. We are going to do struggle for him, so he gets 2 struggle. And that is going to be the end of him. So I get 1 stamina. I get to reduce the struggle by 1. I can choose to move, which I will. So pay 1 stamina to move over here. And then I also forgot to draw back up to my hand size limit. Sorry, guys. I'm an hour into this video. I want to try to make this quick. So I am... Jeez Louise. I'm trying to mow through this pretty quickly. Okay. So I draw back to my hand size limit. I moved. So now I can play some cards. All right. I think the first thing I'm going to do is play Endurance. Ooh, do I want to mess with the green? I got to mess with the green or the blue, right? The blue, I know what it does. The blue is powerful. I don't want to mess with that. So I will mess with the green because it is at least going to protect me from some of the attrition. So I will play Endurance. All right, I will spend 1 stamina. I'm going to go ahead and draw my 1 card from the assist, which is Thwart. And then I will get to draw 2 cards from Endurance as well. And then this is going to pop. So the active player becomes threatened. Oof. All right, maybe that was not good at all. So I got to find a way to move in this turn or I am screwed. This is going to pop as well. Place a fire terrain in the front sector. So fire terrain. Excuse me, guys. He will spend 1 stamina. Each player in the front, or 1 struggle. Each player in the front sector takes damage, but I'm not in the front sector. All right, so we got 2 new cards coming out now. And I've got all the cards that I need. Whew. Reduce stamina cost of each red. When another player removes struggle, you may discard from your hand to double the amount of struggle. Reduce stamina cost of the next card you play by 1. If you are in the flank sector, you may play a red. Draw 2 and draw 2. Okay. Let's play Retreat. Alrighty. We got another green, and this is going to cost 2 stamina. Let's go ahead and just get rid of Thwart. Alright. So I can draw 2 cards. So I will draw this one. I have decked out, so I will take 1 damage. And I will need to reshuffle my deck up. And hopefully I can knock this guy out. I might have to just take the L. And, well, actually, if I can just get 1 more double... thing on him, then I can end the game pretty quickly. So I need 1 more card. Please be a red. Nope, I got another one. Remove 1 struggle. He's at 0 struggle. Okay. You know what? Maybe we just play the blue and see what happens. So play the blue. I need to spend 2 for the blue. Let's do remove 1 struggle token for a heavy clash. All right, so let's play the blue. Let me draw 2 cards. So blue and blue. Okay, at least I got a red. He is going to pop the blue. All right. So Varaxin turns to the active player, then place a fire terrain in the front sector. The active player, ooh, I forgot about that. The active player then, okay, so place a fire terrain in the front sector here. The active player suffers damage unless they have a green in their sequence. Thankfully, I got a green in my sequence. All right, so no damage to me. So Fire Train is in my sector. I cannot play any more cards, so that is the end of my turn. So we'd go to the attrition phase. I am threatened, so 2 attrition cards, but I do have defense, so I will get to prevent myself from gaining attrition. Alrighty, and then we move into the end of turn phase, where I would discard all the cards into my sequence, draw up to my hand size limit, or reduce cards down. Okay, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, reduce the stamina of the card, 4, and then reduce stamina of the card, discard, play 1, play a card as slash without paying a stamina cost, and 5. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce my hand down to 5. I did have more than 5 cards in my hand, so, or more than 2, sorry, so I do get a stamina token. Okay, monster turns to the aggro player. I am already here, and now we go to the end of round step. So I'm gonna go top, well, I'm gonna do this first. So fire and fire. All right, so that gets to the yellow. We are gonna pop this end of round effect. So each player in the front sector must either immediately move or suffer damage. The Viraxan turns to the player with the fewest defensive cards in their hand. So I will move. He will turn, and I will need to pay stamina for that, which I'll just pay with my stamina token. Okay, so that is that. This pops out. This is the last behavior card, so he does escalate. Alrighty. We'll shuffle that back up. And when a behavior card with Firestorm is revealed, I didn't reveal anything with Firestorm. I believe that is all the end of round steps. So we'll go to the next round, round number 8. Ooh, I'm barely hanging on, guys. We go to the top, consume phase, nothing, behavior refresh. This card is going to get refreshed, and a green is coming out. Man, this guy does not like me whatsoever. Monster upkeep, he gains 2 struggle. And then now to my turn, this is going to activate because I am in the front sector. So he's going to gain struggle -1 and then get a +1 boost. So +1 boost, struggle -1 for 2. And now it's my turn. So I get a stamina. I get to reduce his, wait, so he was at 3, he would get 1, and he's back down to 3. So that would happen. I did move, so threaten does get removed. And I'm in the front sector. So let's see what we got. Do I want to move right now or stay in the front? Ideally, I want to move. So I want to go in the back. This needs to pop out. Okay, so we get rid of the stamina token to move. And then let's play some cards in the back. I think what I might do, I don't want to play green right now. I could do double. Let's do this. Okay. Pay 1, slash to the flank. If you were in the flank sector, you may play a red card as the next card in sequence without paying a stamina cost. All right, so play the blue, and I will get rid of the empty fade here to pay for that. We reduce his struggle by 1. Alrighty, and that is that. Nothing is going to pop. The next card I will play is double slash. Oh, I get to draw a card. I always forget about that draw card step. That is vital. Now I will play double slash. Okay, for 1. If the next card player in sequence is a red, reduce the stamina cost by 1. And we are going to, I think I get rid of that. Or actually maybe keep that and get rid of Dragon Dash because we don't want to play any, well, that Dragon Dash is a 2. That might be worth holding on. But that's a defense for attrition. That might save my bacon. So I'll actually do that. Okay, so we will play double slash. So I'm dealing basic damage to him. So 2 damage. So bringing this stance right now up to 6. I have played double attack in the back. So we will add 1 more counter to this. So 1 counter, Viraxan suffers 2 wounds. All right, so if I can just deal 1 more wound and then hit him in the back, he is going to be gravy. Really 2 more damage, and then if I play double attack in the back, then he is dead. So that is my stance turn, and I think I'm going to end my turn right there. I think I end my turn right there because I don't want to play anything else. Okay, so attrition phase. we'll need to draw 1 attrition, which is 1. I have no cards, so I will only take 1 damage, all right? Because remember, we are reducing. Actually, no, I do take 2. I do take 2, because we would reduce his damage by 1, and then we would add the boost. I also realize with my mastery here, I would not have to pay for the double slash, so I would get to keep Dragon Dash in my hand because reduce the stamina cost of all reds I play by 1. Well, I didn't even have to do it anyway because I got to play it for free with that. I don't know why I missed that. Again, a lot of stuff going on, and I'm trying to play super fast. Okay, so that's 3 cards. We did attrition. We are going to discard the cards in my sequence. Draw back up to my hand size. I do get 1 extra. Let's go 1 Dragon Strike and Deflecting Blade. Alrighty. Monster turns to the aggro player, and then we will do any end of round effects. Hopefully this is the last turn, guys. So any end of round effects, this are both yellow and yellow, so these 2 fires are going to go away. And this would go away at the end of the round. And anything else? Nope, I think that is it. Back up top, we're starting round number 9. It's getting close. We are getting close. Behavior refresh. This goes away. The tail comes out. He gains 2 struggle. All right, we would go to me. I reduce 1 struggle. I get a stamina. And then I can move. So I will pay 1 stamina to move. And hopefully this is the last turn. I do believe this should be the last turn here. So let's see. If I play reactive guard, search your deck for a card with slash and add it to your hand. So we will play Deflecting Blade for 1 stamina. Card with a slash on it. Jumping Slice. I'm just going to take that right there. Reshuffle my deck. And hopefully this is it, guys. Okay. So I get to draw a card for playing Deflecting Blade. Alrighty, and let's go with, let's just go with Jumping Slice. Well, yeah, so let's go with Jumping Slice. So I will play, actually, I want to kill him first before that. Well, it's going to activate either way. So, man, I got to think about this. Is there a way I can do Thwart first, then play Jumping Slice and pop it, because that'll work. Okay, so I'll play Thwart. So this just says this is not really going to do anything for me, but I will just discard one stamina to pay for it. So when I remove struggle, I might discard this card in my hand to double that. I'm not going to do it and just remove struggle down by 1. Okay, that is my first blue card. No blues are going to pop. And then what I will do is play Jumping Slice. Okay, play Jumping Slice for 1, and then I will just get rid of this green. Alrighty, so normally if I pay with a blue, it would do extra damage, but I don't need to do extra damage, because how this would work is I would deal 2 damage to him. So 2 damage, bringing him to 8. That is going to cause a wound. I have played back-to-back attack cards. If I'm in the rear sector, place a counter on this card. When there are 2 counters per player on this card, Varaxin suffers 2 wounds. Then remove this card from the game. That would be the 4th. He's 1 wound and 2 wounds, and the Varaxin is defeated. Alrighty, guys. Well, that was much longer than I anticipated, but I hope you guys stuck around for my thoughts and reviews. I do also want to apologize for there's some things that I did miss throughout the course of this playthrough, and I tried my best to make a note of it when I saw those particular things that I did miss. Look, Primal is not an easy game to maintain by yourself. There is a lot of maintenance and a lot of steps, and especially with this hunter mode being the first time that I actually played it and tried it, I was not familiar with some of the rules. Obviously, I did not get super familiar with some of the rules, so there were some things that I missed. Now, my thoughts and impressions on this mode. Look, I really enjoyed this lone hunter mode. I think Chat GPT has done a great job of making some of these rule changes and alterations to still give me me that primal tension, that struggle, that back and forth battling between me and the monster. And look, it took me 9 rounds to beat this Varaxin. So I'm curious to see how some of these other battles are going to go. Again, it did give me a difficulty slider, so I can adjust that up and down depending on the monster that I'm fighting. But look, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It stuck and stayed true to the original Primal experience. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, drop it down below in the comments. What do you guys think of this Lone Hunter mode? Do you think this is a viable way for you to play Primal The Awakening solo with just one hunter? Last but not least guys, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please go and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. Alright guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.